I'm a little disappointed now, but Luker gets to play the Priest deck again.
Yeah, maybe he can blindside him into seeing it this time. Or maybe we can get somebody out there to, like, restrain the concede button if he gets that close.
Hold his hand back. No, don't do it.
We want to see it.
Nah, no interference.
To be fair,
if Sinto wants to concede, he can. Maybe he's just saving time, you know? Maybe he's hungry, wants to go get a sandwich, needs to get out of this series fast.
I'd like to see that animation updated slightly for Mechathune. I think for such a massive effect, it's just a little bit disappointing.
For a card effect that you get to see so infrequently,
yeah.
I'd like it to look just slightly cooler than Twisting.
Like the Four Horsemen's kind of cool when we see that go off. You get the sort of blue swirly Raid to the Lost Ark effect
all the
going
spirits.
On. Yeah, I like it. And maybe Mechathune can be updated to reflect that. But now, this is a lot harder this time because I think it's Death Rattle Hunter, in my opinion, maybe the best deck in the game right now.
Really?
Yeah. And I hate to admit it because it's not a deck I'm fond of, personally. But I do think it's a, you know, incredibly powerful deck, incredibly versatile. A little bit weak against aggro, but it can still hold its own often enough.
It has very consistent matchups across the board.
What do you do here? This is not a choice you want.
Cube's not as valuable in this matchup because Psychic Scream is going to be a very high priority tool.
And yeah, he just wants to kill Luker, and so Keleseth is the pick. Handmaster Shaw, same thing you were saying, it's like, you're not really trading into much apart from this bunch of garbage that the Priest throws down early, so just get those big things and try and kill your opponent until they die from it.
Luker's found both Psychic Screams again, which means he's going to have some good time in this matchup.
Yeah, that's a good way to deal with Death Rattle effects.
Right away. But again, he needs to find Hemet. If he doesn't find Hemet, he has to draw and play every card in his deck and have all of the minions die.
Yeah, that's when it doesn't work. That's when the deck just struggles horribly. Not a lot going on here for Sinto, but only because we can see those Psychic Screams.
Right away.
He really wanted to sort of start getting on curve properly off that Keleseth.
Right away. He's got a heavy hand.
Nothing that, like, a Play Dead wouldn't sort out, though.
Looking at Sinto's deck, he's got one Mind Control tech. His beasts of choice are King Crush, Double Grizzly, of course, and then High Mane in that 4th spot instead of Charged Devilsaur.
No Mukla, then.
No Mukla here,
Thanks,
no.
purple for that.
That's just the purple special.
And Sinto, again, just showing how you play this. Anytime a deck is just going to take a while to kill you, hit them hard, hit them fast, get it done. And not even messing around playing his eggs, just getting as many numbers on the board as possible.
Sinto figures this Hunter deck is better against the Priest than his Odd Paladin deck because of its ability to go so tall so fast. Luker has Spirit Lashes in the deck, which can clear up the board and stall for Psychic Scream against the Paladin. Whereas against the Hunter, it's a lot more difficult to get to that Psychic Scream turn if there's Egg and Death Rattle Activator combos.
Yeah, Spirit Lash has been a card that's been in and out of decks depending on slots available, but Paladin just does not like that card for obvious reasons.
No.
Now Luker's sort of got to be as mana efficient as possible, and that doesn't always result in a play looking particularly good.
Right away. Could have drawn an extra card here by hitting into the Spider Bomb and healing, but
now
just wanting to get that Radiant Elemental on the board instead.
Probably the last difficult-ish turn for him. I think we'll just see the Spider Bomb come down. We may see Rexar on 6 as like a stalling turn going into the Psychic Scream, just so they can play the High Mane straight after.
Well, if Sintalol can bait the Psychic Scream before playing the Savannah High Mane, he will want to.
Yeah.
I don't know that this hand is good enough to do it, though.
And that's what he's not having fun with here. He really is planning that turn 6 carefully. And yeah, that is why he's going to go this route now. 7 attack might just be enough, but Sinto would love to be able to play something next turn that isn't. I don't know, Rexar might be okay.
Yeah, I mean, Rexar finds additional threats for the later turns as well. Luker with 2 Acolyte of Pain in hand, and at risk of potentially drawing too many cards.
Yeah. And there's a Hemet. I was going to say, Sinto now has the information there's probably no Hemet, because Luca would use his card draw after playing the Hemet if he had it.
Well,
but now he has it, so Sinto's face on turn 6 is going to be the usual Sinto picture.
So Luca had intended to play the coin here to clear the board, draw an additional card, and have just his Acolyte remaining on the board.
Right.
But now he doesn't want to draw a card.
Yep.
Because that means one additional card that, unless it's Mechathune or either Ticking Abomination, it's a card that he has to play.
Yeah, he'd much rather draw the cards after the Hemet as well and just get through those last 5 or 6 cards in his deck.
He still deems it worthy of playing the coin there because he can just Psychic Scream this Acolyte into Sintalal's deck this turn, or next turn actually. He gave up the coin.
Doesn't Windmill slam the Hemet this time? Presumably just using the time to plan what he's going to do afterwards.
His deck is going to be Ticking Abomination, Mechathune. So the issue with this is Lucar has an Acolyte of Pain in his hand still, and he's worried about, I think, fatiguing.
Yeah.
He's got to play double Shadow Visions, he's got to play the Acolyte and have it die. And he's got, well, so you play the Acolyte and then you Psychic Scream after this first Psychic Scream comes out, if there's not too much pressure.
Bunch of nothing there for Sinto.
It's a little bit more complicated this game than it was last game, and Lucar's having to play these draw cards wisely, deciding between drawing before the Hemet and drawing after. But he does still have access to the full combo in just a couple of turns. He's only on 7 mana now.
Yeah, Sinto giving up his hero power in favor of beasts, but they're going to need to be good beasts to get this done in time. But this is where the Cthulhu deck can just be meh. Meh Cthulhu deck.
Meh.
It has so much fiddling around to do with mediocre cards that it can just get into trouble, but he is going to have those 2 clears with those Psychic Screams. It doesn't look too bad.
Takes 2 turns to play him, though. And then an additional turn for double Shadow Visions, Spirit Lash, and somewhere you got to fit the Acolyte in.
Yeah, and all the time Sinto's trying to hit you with this big stuff. I know you're not getting Mitch big stuff down against Psychic Screams, but something will stick.
Okay, so the way I see this is Lucar is trying to win the game on his turn 11.
Yep.
So this is looking like... Is this just Spirit Lash this turn, then?
I think Luca's genuinely not sure what he's doing here in terms of long-term plan, because he doesn't want to draw quickly. As you said, he's waiting until turn 11, so...
I think he's waiting until turn 10 to go Acolyte Spirit Lash, or Acolyte Psychic Scream, excuse me, and then turn 11 is going to be the combo.
Seems good.
And that's... it forces him to take a couple turns off, which he doesn't want to do. He can probably do it turn 10. Turn 8 is Psychic Scream. No, because you still have to split apart the Acolyte and the Psychic Scream. And that takes 2 turns.
You get Lifesteal, that'll protect you. No, it won't. That's not how it works.
And you cannot get Swamp King Dread from Build-A-Beast, but you can get Jeweled Macaw, which can give you Swamp King Dread.
Oh, yes. And that's what he needs right now. And it is amusing to see it.
So this has got to be Psychic Scream.
Yeah. And Luca's not happy because if he uses those screens for these next 2 turns before his hand is empty, Sinto can stick something big. And the deck has got big things in it. Sinto is going to play around the Psychic Scream here by keeping back the Crush. Going to put enough stuff down that try and make the second Scream happen. Can get damage from this, of course.
Oh my god, it's Death Grip!
Oh my!
Oh
and he
my
takes
god,
the
that's the game!
Mechathune. And Luca gives it up. And Sinto, for once, is the guy on the giving end of the nonsense. Cora's lost the plot. Sinto, we've seen his reactions when he loses in this fashion. He can give it as well.
I mean, the Lich King is good, but his loyal buddy Arphis is sometimes just better. Getting the exact Death Knight card he needed, ripping the Mechathune, and Sinto's like, you know what? Nah.
That's the thing he went for when he took the Arphis. That is exactly what he went for.
And there was still, I think, a way there that Sinto could have...
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not counting out the exact turns. King Crush comes down that turn. Lucre has to Psychic Scream. Then Acolyte has to come down. Then maybe you strand the Acolyte there somehow, except you just kill the Acolyte with the Mechathune with the Ticking Abomination, so it can be there on turn 10 and you still win the game.
You can redraw King Crush, having hit them for 9 and that sort of thing. You can... We already discussed you can get Dread from the Macaw.
But it's just better to take their Mechathune from their deck.
Yeah, this was the most likely way. This was a 1 in 7 that he played for.
Kudos, Sinto. That was cool. All right. So now going